Hello again, my MMA true believers. I am Jason Burgos for Sherdog.com, and tonight I am joined by the number one contender to the LFA strawweight title. On October 30th on UFC Fight Pass, she will stake her claim as a future star of the strawweight division and try to be the owner of some shiny new gold when she faces champion Vanessa Demopoulos, and that woman is the one they call Loopy, aka
Yeah,
Lupita Godinez, Madam Loopy. Thanks for the time tonight before your title fight.
thank you. Thank you for having me on your show.
My pleasure. Now, in an interview you did with My MMA News last year, you had a quote that got my attention, and you said, to be honest, I don't like to study opponents that much because I'm well-rounded, and I will decide when I wake up that morning. Okay, do I want to wrestle? Do I want to box? Do I want to kickbox? It depends how I feel when I wake up is what I'm doing or going to do or how I'm going to react. Now, that blew my mind a lot because the thought could be, it's about not having much strategy before a fight. So clarify things for me. Are you the type of fighter that doesn't like watching too much tape and leaves things up to the coaches? Why do you maybe dislike a specific game plan before a fight? You go by feel. And are you the type of fighter that prefers instinct in the fight over like a lot of heavy strategy preparation beforehand?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool to have a game plan and if some fighters can follow it like like how it's supposed to be. But I feel like I can do, I can be anywhere. I can box, I can kickbox, I can wrestle, I can do jiu-jitsu, I can do anything. You know what I mean? So if I don't want to be on the ground or if I don't want to wrestle, I can just keep standing.
Mm.
If I get taken down, okay, well, I'll get up and that's why it's called MMA, and I'm not just doing one. So
Mm.
I feel like I'm good anywhere, and whatever the fight goes, I'm ready. I'm always training, I'm always getting better, and that's the game.
Now, I actually spoke to Vanessa last night, and she told me about you messaging her on Instagram before her title fight with Sam Hughes, and just showing her some love for her opportunity at the time, as well as just the mutual respect you two have for each other. There seems to be no kind of hate in between this matchup. What prompted you? What made you decide to reach out to her back then and originally, just contact her?
Well, just to say, good luck on her fight, whatever. And I just saw her as a future opponent.
Okay.
And like we have no beef whatsoever. We're cool, and we're just gonna put on a show. I also asked her if she wanted to fight before, and she said, I'm taking time off, blah blah blah. I say, okay,
Mm.
perfect, because sometimes I get into this crazy in my head that I want to fight, and I haven't fight this year. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
now we are October, November, and
Yeah.
my last fight it was in November, and it's just makes me so crazy
Yeah.
that I like of course I'm like, hey, I'm telling them I'm not being rude here. I just want to
Yeah.
fight, like, and I think some like this females MMA is small, that I think we need to kind of talk to each other sometimes to make it happen. And we have no bad blood or anything. It's just I just want to fight. That's that's it. I just want to fight. If I could, I will fight little guys, but I can't. So I gotta do what I can.
Now, this time, this whole pandemic, everything, it's been hard for everybody. But a lot of people who may watch at home will see you fighters on the big networks or UFC Fight Pass streaming and not understand on the way up. A lot of you have to have side jobs. Sometimes there's fighters that have side jobs when in the UFC. Was the fact that like you mentioned, you haven't fought since November, the pandemic, like, has this long period of not fighting been really hard on you financially? Did like the pandemic affect any side job you have, or were you able to make it through this last year without fighting through the pandemic and not be too damaged financially and make it through okay?
I was fine. We're lucky here in Canada. We
Yeah.
we got a little help. Uh, I mean, my job, it was on and off all the time, and yeah, I was off for a bit, but I mean, I don't really work. I mostly train.
Okay.
And honestly, I'm really lucky to have my boyfriend with me and my family, which really supported me, and they really understand what it's to take. So it's a little bit of everything, and we just make it work.
Mm.
And honestly, if it wasn't for my boyfriend, like, I couldn't do this like pretty much full time.
Yeah.
He really helps me, and yeah, like, yeah, I couldn't do it.
So is he like kind of the one like paying most of the bills and stuff like that and taking on the financial load so you can go train without pressure and do the things without any kind of stress?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, and also sponsorships too, right?
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm lucky. I'm pretty lucky, and I can't complain.
Now going back to this whole idea of like just kind of feeling the fight, how you're gonna go strategically day up, and this idea you were rounded, and you have diverse skills everywhere. Do you feel there is a very specific area you have like a clear advantage and almost seems like a clear path to victory over Vanessa? Her strength is her Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Do you feel in the stand-up your boxing and your pressure could be a problem for her, or you haven't even really thought about it? You're gonna just go with the morning feeling, see how you go that morning.
Yeah, let's see what happened when we start fighting. Maybe she just shoot, and I don't know. We will see. We will see what happened that day. Yeah. I know she likes to fight. I know she's not scared. I know she's a fighter. So we will see. We will see. I'm just really excited. I'm really thankful for this opportunity. Finally, I get to fight this year, and that's it. I'm just gonna go out there and have fun, and do my best. That's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna do our best, and we're gonna put on a show, and that's it.
Now I'm curious on how much maybe even your coaches will look at video in advance and just train you on certain elements, because in her fight on the Contender Series, the announcers, one of them being Paul Felder, mentioned that he felt that she puts herself in bad positions often and that she can use her jiu-jitsu and often get out of it. However, that wasn't what happened against Corey McKenna, and Corey McKenna was able to shut down her jiu-jitsu, stay on top. Was what Corey McKenna did in that fight, was any video in advance? Like, did your coaches look at those things, and was that a subject of conversation at all in the camp? Because she's probably going to use the jiu-jitsu. That's her strongest thing. Was there any stuff like that? Okay, we got to watch out for these certain positions and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, she's really flexible, and she can find any angles, and I think it's really cool. But at the same time, maintain heavy hips, wrestling background. I think that's a key, nice and heavy, and yeah.
Do you feel?
See.
I know how wrestling is your base. Your sisters also do. It kind of runs in the family. Do you feel that your wrestling is of the level that even though she's a jiu-jitsu champion, like you said, heavy hips, those kind of things, it will nullify anything she can do to you on the ground?
Yeah, that will help. But also, I'm a 10 planet jiu-jitsu. I train with 10 planet.
Okay.
So I see all those angles all the time, so yeah, I don't think it will be any surprises, like, I train with high level guys all the time, purple belts, brown belts, black belts, that they have that, like, movement, cover guard, be on their backs. They love to attack from the back, on their back. So I think, yeah, as long as I keep sharp and smart, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Yeah.
I asked Vanessa a similar question, but it is well established that winning a title in the LFA is really a great catapult into the UFC, be it straight into the UFC or maybe on the Contender Series, something like that. And for most fighters, that's the end goal, to get into the UFC. However, Bellator has really wisened up and started to pull more from the really strong LFA talent pool and getting more LFA fighters in Bellator. Now, Bellator doesn't have a strawweight division, but if they came to you with a multi-fight offer for you to move up to flyweight and compete for them, would you be open to that? Or do you feel strawweight is your optimal division, flyweight's not a good fit for you? Or even this, Vanessa said it's really UFC or bust for her. She doesn't really want to go to Bellator. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, I do feel the same. I wouldn't go to flyweight. I don't think.
Mm.
At least right now, I'm too small for that division. Um, but yeah, no, I want to be in the UFC, and that's the goal. And if it's not this fight, I'll fight again. And that I'm not in a rush, but yeah, just yeah.
Is where I'm
Yeah.
gonna give you like a question or a topic or a phrase or whatever, and I want you to just give me the first thoughts and the first reaction that come to your mind when I ask it. So the first one I have is, what is your LFA '94 walkout song, and why are you picking that song?
I always walk out to Vivir Mi Vida
Mm.
by Marc Anthony.
Okay.
And that song is in Spanish, of course.
Mm.
Talks about just to be happy and to enjoy the time. You're doing what you love, smile, laugh, be yourself,
Mm.
very much. So, yeah. And yeah, I love fighting. That's what I do. And not many people get to do what they love every single day, and get paid, you know. Yeah. So
The
that's
next one
why.
is, your sisters and Olympic hopefuls, from what I'm told, Anna and Carla. Are they MMA fighters in the next decade?
One of them, maybe.
All
Yeah.
right. All right.
Yeah, one of them.
And the last one and the most fitting one, when you hear the name Vanessa Demopoulos, what are your first thoughts?
My first thought, Smiley. Smiley, fearless. She's not scared to get punched in the face, and I like that.